This is a 3D exercise kept from studycadcam website. Let's use it to learn some new techniques of FreeCAD during its 3D modeling process. Link to this 3D exercise available in the video description. At first look, the model looks complex for a beginner, but breaking this in basic steps, it becomes easier to model it. Let's see how to create a model using the main 3D modeling workbench, the part design workbench. As first step, let's create a new document by pressing Body File. As you see in the workbench selector, part design is selected. That is good. Let's go ahead and create a new body object by pressing this icon, and we have this. Next, let's create our result, this cylinder here. To create this cylinder, we have two possibilities. We can use a primitive cylinder, or we can create a cycle geometry inside a sketch and then extrude that sketch. Go to Active Tools of Part Design Workbench and click on this arrow, and you'll find this option, Active Cylinder. Just click here, and the first thing to do is to set the correct plane of this cylinder. In the case of this model, should be XY plane. Here on the string page, we can see that the diameter of the cylinder is 8 mm. We have to set the radius. So here, instead of setting 8 mm, we set 40 mm the radius of the cylinder. And the height, we can see that is 8 mm here. Just set 8 mm and then click OK, and we have this. If you want to create the cylinder using a sketch, what you have to do is to first delete the cylinder. Select the cylinder and delete. Just click in Create Sketch icon. Select the plane, XY plane, and next go to Sketch Geometry Tools, these tools here, and select Cycle tool. Start the cycle in the origin axis and then set the correct diameter, which is 8 mm. Just set 8. Enter, and this sketch is full constrained. Just close this sketch and then use the pad tool to extrude the sketch. Click on this icon and we have this. Next, set the correct length, which is 8 mm. Set 8 and enter, and we have this. The next solid that we'll create will be this solid here. To create this solid, what you'll do is to create a sketch in this face here. Select this face here and then click on Create Sketch icon to create a sketch on this face. And now we are on the sketch workbench, and what to do here first is to pick the polyline tool and draw a geometry. Select the polyline tool, create this line here, this horizontal line, and next this line here. Go to Sketch Geometries again and select Cycle tool. Now start the cycle here on the origin axis and draw this. Increase the size of the cylinder and also this geometry. And now using the trim tool, this tool here, will trim some lines and some arcs of these geometries. Pick the trim tool and now trim this arc, this one here, and this, and now this line here, zoom in, and this line here, and now to zoom in here and select this line and also this line. And now we have this geometry. Okay, and the next thing to do is to escape this tool and next use the external jump tool and extract this edge here. And next just use the constant tool, constraint constant. Select this tool here and now just click here in this point and now in this edge. And we have this 5 degrees of freedom. Now escape this tool and drag this line here in this way. Now that we have this geometry, let's set the size of this sketch. To do that, select the dimension tool, this tool here, just click on this icon, and the first thing that we'll set here will be this angle between these two lines. So how we do that? We first zoom in and we select this line here and next this line, click off and set the correct angle, which is 6 degrees, and OK. And we have this, and let's set the same here. Set 6 degrees and enter. Now we have 3 degrees of freedom. What you can do here, escape this tool and drag this. As you can see, we have this problem. Okay, we can use the constraint equal to make these two lines equal. So what I have to do is to select these two lines here in this way and next press equal constraint, and we have 2 degrees of freedom now. Let's see again. Okay, let's make this line equal to this line, and we have this 1 degree of freedom now. Let's see what is missing. Let's go to the drawing page. As you can see here, we have these two construction geometries, these two cycles here. We can see that this line here is tangent to this cycle, this inner cycle here. So what we do here, we select cycle tool, and then we click on this origin axis, and next we click on this line here. And as you can see, we have a tangent constraint here. It means that this line here is tangent to this cycle. Okay, next we have to change this cycle geometry to a construction geometry. To do that, we have to select this cycle and then click on this icon here. And we have this 1 degree of freedom. The next thing to do is to set the diameter of this cycle. Let's see here on this string page. As we can see, we have here a diameter of 60 millimeters for this inner cycle. So just select the dimension tool and then click on this edge and click off and set 6 millimeters and enter. And this sketch is full constrained, as you can see here. Just close the sketch. To extrude this sketch, select pad tool. Let's set correct length, which is 12 millimeters. We have here 20 millimeters, the height of this object, and we have here 8 millimeters. We can set a formula here. We can set 20 minus 8 millimeters, and we have a length of 12 millimeters. Okay, next let's create these holes here, this one here. To create these two holes, what you'll do is to create a sketch in the axis plane and then use the groove tool, this tool here, to remove material on the solid. Just click in create sketch icon and select axis plane. Now you switch to the session view by pressing this icon here, and the next thing to do is to select external jump tool and extract this edge here. Now we have this, and we can use this line here as a reference to the next geometry. Select polyline tool and start creating this geometry. Just click on this vertical axis and draw this line, and next this line here. Now this horizontal line, and next just click here and click on the origin axis, and now close the sketch, clicking here on this endpoint. And we have this geometry and also 4 degrees of freedom. Next, let's use the constraint constant to constrain this point on this edge. Next, to set the dimensions of this sketch, we'll use the dimension tool. Just click on this icon and we'll start from this line here. Just click on this line and now click here. And as we can see here, we have a diameter of 40 millimeters for this cycle, for this hole. What we'll do is to set 20 millimeters because we're creating a section of this hole. Okay, next select this point and this line here, and the correct length here is the half of 18 millimeters of this hole here. Set 9 millimeters and enter. Now we have 1 degree of freedom. We can see here that we have a length of 10 millimeters for this line here. So the depth of this hole is 10 millimeters. So what we do, we click on this line here and we create a vertical distance of 10 millimeters and then enter. And this sketch is full constrained. Just leave the sketch by pressing this icon. And next select the groove tool to remove material from this part here. As you can see, we have this hole here. Just press OK on this task panel, and the next step that we have to do is to create this chamfer here on this edge and also on this edge. Let's see the size. The size here, as we can see, is 1 millimeters for this edge and 1 for this edge. Go to our document, and what we have to do here is to select the correct edges. Hold Ctrl key and select this edge and then this edge here, and then select chamfer tool, this icon, and the size is 1 millimeters, as you can see here. Just press OK and we have the operation. Okay, now that we have this, the next step is to create this pocket here. To create this pocket, we'll need to create a sketch and then use that sketch to remove material from this solid here. Let's create that sketch. Just click in create sketch icon and then select the axis plane. Okay, switch to the session view and now let's go to the drawing page. As we can see here, the orientation of this part here is different from this. Okay, what we can do is to switch back to the full view and press home. We need the rear view. Just press top. Now here and now rear. And now switch to the session view and zoom in here and next go to sketch geometry and pick the polyline tool. Let's create the full geometry instead of the section of the geometry. Okay, let's start by this horizontal line here and next this vertical and now horizontal, vertical, and next we need to create this and next this one here and this line here and now this line and we have this geometry. Skip this tool and next let's use the dimension tool to set the dimensions of this geometry. Select dimension tool. Let's set the distance from this vertical axis to this point. Create a horizontal distance. As we can see here, we have a distance of 12 millimeters. Let's add 6 millimeters for this distance. Okay, and we have this. Now, from this vertical axis to this point, let's create a horizontal distance of 9 millimeters, the half of 18. Set 9 here. And next select this point and this vertical axis and the distance here must be the half of 16, which is 8 millimeters. Now for this line here, as we can see, we have a length of 2.5 millimeters. Set 2.5 and enter, and we have this. Now for this line here, we have a length of 3 millimeters. Set 3 and enter, and we have this. Now from this point to this horizontal axis, okay, the distance here must be 11 millimeters, this distance here. Set 11, select the external geometry tool and extract this edge here. And next let's use a constraint horizontal tool to constrain this point and this point here. Just click here and select constraint horizontal. Next select this point and now this point. Let's hide these all constraints. And next let's mirror these lines here in this side. Skip this tool and next select these geometries in this way and select symmetry tool, this tool here, and next click in this vertical axis and we have this 9 degrees of freedom. Now next just select these points here and constrain it constant. Select constraint constant and do the same here, constraint constant, and we have this 5 degrees of freedom. Now to full constrain this sketch, what you have to do is use this symmetric constraint. Select this icon and next make these 2 points merge to this vertical axis and the same here, this point and this point merge to this vertical axis. And now this point here, this point and this vertical axis. And let's do the same here, this point, this one here and this. And this sketch is full constrained as you can see. Now close the sketch and use the pocket tool to create a pocket. Change the type here to triangle and we have this. Click OK now. As you can see, we have the freeze pocket and this pocket here must be repeated 3 times as you can see here. But before we do that, let's create these 3 dead holes. To create this 3 dead hole here, what you'll need to do is to create a sketch on this face here and then use the hole tool. So just select this face here and then create a sketch on this face. Next, go to sketch geometry and select cycle tool. Create a cycle here on the vertical axis and the diameter of this cycle must be 6 millimeters. Set 6 and enter, and now we have this 1 degree of freedom. Now just select dimension tool and set a distance from this point to the vertical to the horizontal axis. As you can see in the string page, we have a distance of 31 millimeters, the half of 6.2. So just add 6.2 millimeters divided by 2 and you get 31 millimeters, the distance from this point to the center point. Leave the sketch by pressing S 2 times and we have this. Next, select the hole tool. Here on the profile, we change to something like isometric regular profile. And next we change the size. We have to find this reference M6. Click here and find M6 reference, this one here. The depth here we can set 50 millimeters, no problems. And next scroll up and click OK, and we have this. To make the treat visible, what we need to do is to go to the model and select the operation, this whole tool. And now in these properties we find the 3D option. Just set through here and enter. And now in the model treat, just change to true and enter. Close the start page here, click in this. As you can see, here we have the 3D hole. Next, let's create this 3D hole here. To do that, we'll need to create a sketch on this face and then use the hole tool again. Select this face here and create a new sketch. Now, switch to the session view, select cycle tool and create a cycle here with a diameter of 5 millimeters, set 5 millimeters here. We have 2 degrees of freedom. Next, let's use this line tool and create a line between the center point to this origin axis. And this line here must be a construction line. What you do, escape this tool, select this line here and click here on this icon, and now we have this. Next, we use the dimension tool. Click on this line here and now on this horizontal axis and set this angle here, which is 30 degrees. Set 30 here and we have this. Next, click on this line here and set the correct length of this line, which is 14 millimeters. 14 millimeters, the half of 28. Set 14 here and enter, and we have this. Skip 2 times to leave this sketch. And next, select the hole tool again. Change the profile to isometric regular profile, and the reference, we know the reference is M5. The depth we can set 25 millimeters, no problem. Click OK. Next, go to the model tab and select the hole operation, set through here and model treat, and we have this. As you can see, we need to remove material from the solid to create this hole here, and next we'll need to create this 3D hole. What we can do here is to create a sketch on this face here, and then use that sketch to create a pocket, this pocket here, and then use that sketch to create this 3D hole. Select this face here, create a sketch on this face. Okay, next go to sketch jump, select cycle tool, create the cycle, set a diameter of 12 millimeters. We have here a radius of 6, set 12 millimeters, and we have this. Next, use the line tool and create a line between the center point and this center and this origin axis. Next, use the dimension tool to set the angle between these two lines here, which is 30 degrees. And the distance here must be, the distance of this line must be 31 millimeters. As we can see, we have a diameter of 62 millimeters for this outer cycle here. Set 31 millimeters and we have this. Next, change this down here to a construction line. Skip this tool and select this one here, and then click on this icon and we have this. Skip 2 times to leave this sketch, and next select pocket tool, and here we have the pocket but with the wrong depth. What you can do is to go to the type and change to add to face, and then select this face here and OK. And next select this face here and create a new sketch on it. Now just switch to the session view and select the external jump tool, extract this edge here to get the center point. Select cycle tool and create a cycle here. The diameter of this cycle change to 8 millimeters. set 8mm here, skip 2 times to leave this sketch, and then select pocket tool and change here to foreground, and we have this. Next, click OK, and as you can see here on this link page, we have a chamfer here on this hole. The chamfer size, as we can see, is 1mm. So what you have to do is to select this edge here and select chamfer tool, set a size of 1mm, and OK. And next, to create the 3D hole, what you'll do is to reuse the sketch that you used to create this hole here. Go to the model tab, and on this last pocket operation, click on this arrow, and then select the sketch here and spacebar to make it visible. And then with this sketch selected, select hole tool. And now change the profile to isometric regular profile, and then change the size to M8, change the size reference to M8, and then click OK. And next, scroll down to the hole tool, go to hole parameters and change here the treated to 2, and next change, and now make the model treat 2 and enter. And we have this, as you can see. Now this hole is a 3D hole. Just press home on your keyboard and we have this, as you can see. Okay, now to complete this 3D model, what you need to do is to create a polar array of these holes and pockets, starting from this pocket here. Okay, just go to the tree view, select this pocket, and now hold Ctrl key and select this hole here, this pocket operation, this one here, this chamfer operation, and this hole operation. And next, select polar pattern tool, this tool here. As you can see, now I have this. Okay, what you need to do here is to first change the axis of this operation and then change the occurrence. So go to axis, click here and select the correct axis, which needs to be Z axis. And next, change the occurrence to 3. And we have this. Now let's close this operation. And as you can see, this is the final model. We finished the design of this model. Thank you for watching this video. If you find this video useful, please don't forget to hit like and share this video with your friends. If you want to support the content of this channel, there's a link in the video description to the Ko-Fi page. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next video.